Hello, hi, and howdy. How y'all doing?
Hello, hi, and howdy, and how are y'all doing?
We'd love to be turned around so you could see the lake, but it is just way too bright. And it's just trying to backlight. So we're sitting here staring at the lake.
Yep.
And it's beautiful today, just absolutely gorgeous. And so proud you could join us.
We've got our RV weekends. We've got Dan, the vintage RVer.
Hi,
Hey,
Dan.
Dan. We have the Aloha Conch.
Glad you got your power steering fixed, or at least you were going to test it here in just a little bit. What was the outcome? I'm going to show you here in a minute what our problem was last weekend. If you were with us last weekend, we were in this campsite, in this campground, a different campsite. But we had an issue, or two. Can everybody hear us okay? We're using a different mic today because the mic on the laptop here wasn't doing so hot last weekend. But if you can hear us okay, I'd appreciate it if you just let us know.
All right, we have the Over the Hill RV. We've got New Horizons. Hey, Susan. Linda Barker. Slow Momentum. It's good to see you. It's been a little while. Glad to see that you're that you're just able to join us. Well, I tell you what, Mark and Carrie had themselves a show today, didn't they?
Yeah. I thought Carrie was going to whoop him with that little whoop, whoop.
He would have deserved it. Linda says that we look and sound good. Oh, Wayward Waggs. Hey, welcome, guys.
Wayward Waggs. You have lost your notes. The show is over, folks.
There's not much to my notes.
She lost her notes.
But you can pick them up for me. Let's see. Kirk Maddens, good to have you here. Linda Barker, thank you for telling us that we look and sound good.
Idle cruises on land and sea. Sounds good here. Thank y'all so much for being with us. Idle cruises.
I do. I like that name.
Idle cruises. I like big boats in a can. No,
we like big boats.
We like big boats.
We do.
But again, we're at the lake, and we're proud that you joined us on this Sunday afternoon. And as soon as we get done with this live stream, I've had a couple of issues. An issue.
You are an issue.
I'm an issue. Or as they say in Britain, an issue. Like schedule.
Well, go ahead and tell them what your issue is so I can go on.
Okay. No, we pulled in here Thursday night.
Yes.
And we left the house late, and we got in here after dark. And I had a heck of a time trying to back up because some joker just kept flashing lights at me. He just kept shining lights, and I never could find him out on the road, but in my peripheral vision, I just kept seeing the flashing light. And I'd already complained to Miss Barbara that I had just developed some floaters in this eye, severe. I mean, big blobs, big floaters in this eye.
Tell them what does that look like for you.
Yeah. How many of y'all are familiar with Stranger Things? The upside down, the ashes blowing around, and the big... Well, that's what's going on in this eye right here. But turns out, it scared me enough because nobody was flashing their lights at me. I had a tear in my retina, and I had the flashes going off in my peripheral vision. So Friday, I went and saw the eye doctor, and he immediately did some laser tacking. I believe it's a little horseshoe tear, and they tack it down with a laser. And anybody that tells you the eyeball doesn't feel pain, no, it does. But anyway, I had my retina repaired, and it's been pretty good. But the floaters are in both eyes now, and it's just you're constantly swatting at stuff that isn't there, like flies and bugs and trying to edit, watching the computer screen, and there's just things. Anyway, it's crazy. But Miss Barbara has been doing a lion's share of the setup and the breakdown on this trip.
Yeah, I didn't put the awning out. I had to have you do it because I'm too short.
And you didn't take the kayaks off. Dub and Miss E did that.
Yeah.
And put them back.
But just about everything else, I guess.
Yeah, you did. You did a great job.
And
we're gonna button it up the rest of the way right after this live stream. And
guess who's driving it home? Me.
she is going to drive Matilda for the very first time. She's never even ridden in Matilda.
Oh, it's going to be an experience. I think I'm going to have to put some earplugs in. And
now, let me ask you a question. Am I going to get you almost home and let you drive it, or are you going all the way?
I haven't decided yet. Only because we still have the other issue still going on.
No.
I can brake okay?
Well, of course. Already fixed that.
It wouldn't be a bad drive for me to go all the way home. We're not going to run into a whole lot of traffic. Fort Gaines will be the worst of the traffic, and that's not much. You get downtown, you drive 25 miles an hour. I can cope with that. I can count my no lights, no red lights. I can count my stop signs from here to home.
From here to home or from Shorterville? You want me to get you to Shorterville and on the back road and then let you have it?
Well, we'll decide how hot and tired I get finished packing this place up.
Oh, we ain't got a few things to do.
Well, then I got the inside to do.
Yeah. Got to get everything settled on the inside. Our epic RV adventure. Hey, Michael, Shelly, Talon, and Dan, the vintage RVer, says you got old blood vessels and crap floating around in retinal fluid. Renal fluid, retinal fluid. It's blood from the tear. That's what the doctor said it was, and it's it's floating around in the soup there in the eyeball, and it's distracting, very distracting. Now, yesterday and the day before, it was a headache. It was real bad.
Yeah,
it was a bad headache. But anyway, let's see what we got here. C. Carter looking good, y'all. Wayward Waggs, I'm sure you'll do fine.
Is C. Carter like in clay?
Is that C. Carter?
Clay?
I don't know. It could be.
That's the first time we've had a C. Carter.
That is the first time we've had a C. Carter.
So.
You talk about bored.
Poor baby.
That young man is bored. Towing Gobi? No, I'll be driving Gobi behind her and in front of her. And behind her and in front of her, because I'm not going to let this opportunity for a good video go to waste. So I'm going to be mounting some cameras everywhere.
Dan, it is like in Waltzing Matilda. Ricky was stationed in Australia for a short period of time. We met in Yokosuka, Japan, and while we were dating, he got me a stuffed koala bear. Of course, her name's Matilda. And we almost broke up over Matilda because back in those days, it was only by slow mail. And when you're in the military and it's going to a ship and coming back to shore, it's extremely slow mail. So we almost broke up. So Matilda was always been the other woman in our lives. So it was just a perfect name for our RV because she's now the other woman in our life.
She is a lot of work, just like the other woman. She's a lot of work. And she takes a lot of money. And is that a turtle? I love turtles.
Easily distracted. Yes, C. Carter, by the way, is our youngest son. And he is out of the country.
Don't say where.
I'm not. And he is in quarantine. And they take their quarantine seriously.
Very seriously. Let's just say it's overseas. And they take quarantine extremely seriously to the point where they're all in basically hotels that the military has basically rented, leased. Anyway, he can't leave his room. I mean, he can't leave his room. So Netflix and books and video games. And what did he tell us yesterday? It was so funny. Clay was telling us that
they got hardwood floors in the hotel room, and he's already walking a trench.
Yeah,
it's 14 steps in one direction.
He's trying to get his miles in, his walking, and he's trying to get it inside a hotel room. Not a very good change in scenery. He says the time zone change is pretty rough. Also, so for the first time, Dad is letting you drive it without brakes. Did he recently update your life insurance? It has brakes.
It has brakes.
It never didn't have brakes. What it didn't have was an auto or emergency brake. And let me go ahead and get that out of the way. And Dan, the vintage RVer, you'll recognize this. Bam. That's nothing more than a pressure switch. Got a hydraulic line hooks to it right here. And when hydraulic pressure is evident here, then basically the electronics are here. The problem with this one, if you'll look closely, is there's a big old hole in it. There ain't supposed to be no hole in it. So that's where all my hydraulic fluid was pumping out when we were here last weekend, and I had that hydraulic leak underneath the RV, underneath Matilda. Turns out it was this pressure switch here. I went ahead and replaced this with a Delco part I picked up at Advantage Auto Parts, or and bingo, we're back in business. No leaks, full pressure, and the little light that was on the dash went out.
Woo!
So there it is. She's got brakes. Now she has auto park or emergency brakes. But Matilda always had brakes and has good brakes too. So that took care of that.
Good.
I don't want anybody saying that she was driving without brakes.
All right, we need to say hello to Artists on the Road and Sue at Lucky Dog Productions moderator. Thank you for being here. Crazy Shepherd, it's good to see you guys again. It's been been a while since I've seen you in the chat. So, and they've got some great videos of their shepherd.
I was trying to think, Dan, to hear the complete story, and any of you folks that don't know the story of Matilda, go back and watch our video, 1 year on the road. It was our 1 year anniversary video, which actually was only 8 months into our
adventure.
But it was, the name of the video is 1 year on the road, the 1 year anniversary. And if you watch that video, we more or less tell you who we are and the story behind why the bounder is called Matilda. So there you go.
All right.
Waltzing Matilda. You know, I had a head full of stuff I was going to talk about until we actually get on here, and now it's. What about your notes? You already went through your notes. Huh?
Well, I did. Most of it was about Mark and Carrie show. A reminder that when we logged in, they were talking about prison and smoking in high school. So you wonder about their upbringing.
Not theirs, Mark's.
Mark's upbringing. Yeah, Mark's a little comfortable with that prison thing. And also I made a note about.
I don't think you learn all of that from just watching Raising Arizona. You don't learn that much about prison.
I do know, and most of you who have watched The Art of RVing know that the answer to any movie trivia will be Raising Arizona. It makes no difference what quote he does, what reference he does. The answer will be Raising Arizona. I think that's the only movie he's probably really ever seen.
And we'll go ahead and give you a hint. Ours will always be, "Oh, brother, where art thou?" So if we ask a trivia question like, we're in a tight spot.
Harnett.
Now,
we got quite a few family movies that we grew the
Oh,
family
Joe
up
versus
on.
the Volcano. Wow. What a
That was
great
one of
movie
our
that is.
favorites. Yep. So, Yeah, we've got a lot of movies that we watch. So, oh, Mom likes your singing. Oh, how about that?
Who is Mom?
Well,
Crazy Shepherd's mom likes your singing.
Your singing.
My heart.
That was JW saying that.
Come on, fellas. We going RUNNOFT.
All right. Not all of the lines need to be said today.
Can't help it. You got me started now. So she runned off. Well, isn't this a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from everywhere.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is a great movie. It's one of those movies, and there have been many that never should be sequeled. Ever. I hear them trying to sequel a movie now, and I can't remember the movie, but I do know that the first movie was the entire movie. It began and ended, and it had an ending that you simply can't. And they're going, I think we'll go ahead and make number 2. Well, there is no number 2, and I'll think of it here in a minute. But Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? A complete story, a complete movie, a great movie. Shouldn't be touched. That looks refreshing, doesn't it?
It's beautiful out there. Like you said, we're facing the lake, so we kind of get distracted easily.
I'm watching a jet ski, and he's dragging a couple of young tubers. They're tubing out there, and it's beautiful.
Did he give anything?
What's that?
Oh, the bird. The bird dipped down and got the water. We had an interesting circle of life yesterday.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, we're sitting up here, and of course, you see everything. We got trees in the lake and all that stuff. So you'll see logs, you'll see turtle heads bop up and down, and occasionally see a fish jump out of the water.
I love turtles.
He loves turtles. But we were looking out yesterday, and I was watching 2 things come in, and I said, that one's a dead fish. And sure enough, it was a dead fish come in.
That was today.
No, that was yesterday, baby.
Okay.
And lo and behold, we got a vulture. And then we got 2. And then we got 3.
And then they kept moving the fish farther down the beach from us.
Well, that's because we went down to the beach to set up the umbrella and the chairs, and we were getting the kayaks ready to go in.
They didn't want us getting their dead fish.
They didn't want us to get their dead fish. Not that we did. But I appreciate that they did get the dead fish, because we have been in places where the decaying carcass of some animal may sit there for a little while.
The decaying what?
The carcass. Whatever it is. The body. The decaying body. You keep laughing at me, baby. You're gonna keep laughing. That's why you're the one with the radio DJ experience. Keep laughing. Oh, yeah, they were talking about the sequel to Dirty Dancing. You're right. Now,
That's it.
But no sequel needed. It was a great movie. Done. One. It. Over. We've got a Filipino angler.
The Filipino angler.
Aloha. All right.
I almost said.
Caucus or carcass or caucus. Caucus is the same thing as in government. And
carcass.
Carcass is the animal, but caucus is our...
Absolutely.
And that's a dying breed, too.
That's right.
So y'all can just make fun of me. I don't care.
I almost said the only thing I know how to say in Tagalog. And then I realized I can't. I'm sorry, and I apologize up front. It's those terms that the sailors learn, and they're not appropriate.
Well, thank you for keeping that to yourself.
Yeah, as soon as you said the Filipino angler, I almost said something, and I went, no, that's a bad word.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
Careful.
But it's amazing what you remember.
The bad stuff.
Unfortunately, I can say a lot of stuff in Japanese, but
I can say quite a few things in Japanese. The only thing I can say in Spanish, honestly, is aloha. Hola, Isabel, ¿cómo estás? And that's because that was the first line in Spanish 1. C. Carter says it's like his German and Arabic. Is that, how do you say it?
Arabic.
I knew that. Not fit for polite conversation. All right, now JW's starting to throw things I can't say out there because he's trying to make me look stupid, but that's okay because I'm your mama. Anyway, we are looking forward to summer's about over.
Nobody
puts
baby in the corner.
That's right. Nobody. We were doing a bunch of one-liners from the movies the other night. And not all from old brother.
I'd like to remind you of today's tip. And the tip is wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance, and for the love of all that is holy, don't lick the handrails at the bus station.
Bus stations even open?
Yeah, they still have bus stations.
I do see Greyhound on the roads.
Yeah, they still have a bus station. I can't remember the last time I think when JW was in the Army, we had to pick him up at the bus station one time. I think that was the last time, long ago. But don't lick the handrails at the bus station.
Please don't.
Do yourself a solid there, okay? The summer never ends if you are full-time RVing. What is the next update? Where y'all going with Matilda?
Well, we're sticking around Lake Eufaula for a little while. Next weekend we'll be at White Oak.
Other side.
And
we're on the Georgia side here, and we're on the Georgia side here, and that is south, and we're going right over there.
Yeah.
That's White Oak Creek.
So we'll be going to White Oak Creek next weekend, and then the following weekend we'll be spending a whole weekend, 2 weekends at our favorite place, Hardbridge.
A whole week?
Yeah, I got the whole week booked.
Is it Pirates Cove?
Yes, it is. Our favorite place, Cody's Lagoon.
Cody's Lagoon on Pirates Cove. If you recall, last weekend, we not only had the issue with the auto park brake, where it was pumping fluid out because of that little hole right there. What was the other problem we had?
Air conditioning in the the front room, front air conditioning.
The front AC. The fan finally, the fan burned up. I took the fan motor and I went to Camping World, Gander RV, and we found the motor, and I purchased it after tax and my Good Sam discount. It was right at about $190. So I come home, I wait for the cool of the evening, I climb up on top of Matilda, and I get to work. And I dissect that AC unit, and I take the fan out, or the fan motor. Sorry, it's a fan motor. On one side, it's got a squirrel cage that blows into the RV, and the other side has a fan that blows through the evaporator. And I got all that taken apart and took the motor out and realized that they weren't the same motor. Same horsepower, same RPM, same everything, amperage, but the mounts were different. And there was no way that I was going to be able to mount it. So I took that motor back to Camping World. We plundered around. They didn't have the one I was looking for. So I go across town to a place that rebuilds electrical motors, and they took one look at it and said, nope, that's a throwaway. Those things are sealed. We can't even break into them. And it's one of those pressed motors. So, it's no real way to crack it and work on it. So basically it's a throwaway motor. I found my motor online. Finally made sure I got the right one, and that should be in this week. But we have two of the very same units, and we rarely ever ran the back unit in the bedroom. We always run the front unit, which is probably why the fan motor burned up finally. We run it all the time.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
we live in it.
Well, yeah.
And we run it all the time, or at least for the past 7 months, we have run it continuously. So we fired up the rear AC and used fans to circulate the air out front, and it's tolerable, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool in the bedroom, and it's comfortable out front. So that was the other problem we had last weekend, and I almost got that taken care of before my eyeball fell out, and had to fish around there and find it and pop it back in and go to the doctor with it.
One of the few times you ever listened to me. Because I told you to go to the eye doctor.
You told me my eye was going to pop out?
I told you to go get it fixed. I told you that it was a little bit more serious than just floaters. And that the regular, just get an eye exam and eyeglasses thrown on your face wasn't enough. So at least you actually listened to me. So
I can close my eye and I can make them dance around. Listen to the music and just watch them dance.
he's falling apart on me.
PNA Trucker Adventure, hello.
Yes.
Good day, everybody. Good to see you. 22 watching, 9 likes. Come on, man.
Do it like Biden does.
Come on, man.
Actually, you gave him more than Biden
Come
has.
on, man.
Come on, man. Unless you're talking about his health. But actually, yes. And Camping Therapy, I don't think we had a chance to say hello to you. Good to have you here.
The lineup today is going to be Nursing Our Travel Bug, followed by Beyond Beauty 3. And then is it our Epic RV Adventure, who gave up their slot last weekend to Roy and Becky's Travels for
The birthday.
Becky's birthday. Or was it Roy's birthday?
Becky's, I think.
It was also Shelley's birthday this past week.
This past week, yes.
That's right. If y'all haven't checked out those channels, do so. Wayward Waggs,
Our
Happy
Epic-
Place Diaries, with Jerry and Teresa and Levi. And also Our Epic RV Adventure with Michael and Shelley, and Nursing Our Travel Bug, Beyond Beauty. All of those folks who are in here right now. At the very least, go see those folks.
Yeah.
Visit their site, give them a chance. And if you get a chance, also hang out at RV Underway, and you might find something there worth watching. We have fallen behind on videos, but here's the big problem I have, and I don't know if any of y'all have this problem or not. When I'm working, when I'm home, when we're at home, I'm working. I'm at work. When I come home late, I go to bed. When we're not working, we're here. It bothers me. Now, I don't mind making the video, shooting the footage, but it bothers me to sit inside Matilda and edit while this lake is out here and those pontoons are back. I mean, the kayaks are back there and the fish are biting and the sun is out and everybody's having a good, I can't do it. I almost need a stormy, rainy couple of days so I can just sit down and edit videos and not feel like I'm missing something or wasting my time.
Well, you're not wasting your time.
Well, I know I'm not
videos,
wasting
but-
my time, but I don't know, it's just, I don't know. It seems like something's wrong with that process.
Well, again, we're in the middle of a beautiful season. The water's gorgeous. It's our time to relax and unwind. And it's hard when you're an essential worker. We haven't had a break.
Our Epic RV Adventures, hope life is treating you well as full-time RVers. That's from Sue over at Lucky Dog. And that's true. They are full-timers. And good to have you as full-timers. Glad you could join us as full-timers. We're full-timers too.
We just work for a living. Bill.
We live right here. We live right, not necessarily right here, but right here.
Well, the good thing about living right here is we can be right here.
And have all this that distracts me from editing videos so that we have new content for people to watch. But hey, I do have this little doomaflicky right here. That little watch-a-majigger, that thing right there is going to have a video. So
Camping Therapy says do the editing at night.
When do I sleep?
Well, that's part of the problem is you don't sleep very well. You get up at the crack of dawn, you could do some editing then.
Yeah, I guess. Wasn't it Clint Eastwood?
I just say shoot something simple.
Wasn't it Clint Eastwood that said, I'll sleep when I'm dead?
Yeah, probably. I say shoot
I'll get plenty of sleep
simple.
when I'm dead.
Let the editing mistakes and the blunders and the bloopers and the whatever, just let them flow. I mean, yeah, you might have to clean up some of the language sometimes from here to there every once in a while.
Are you saying leave the mistakes in?
Yeah. And C. Carter says, yeah, who needs sleep?
For the love of Pete, Miss Barbara, leave the mistakes in?
Yeah. That'd make a more interesting video because it'd be more real. I mean, I love
and not
baby.
do 32 takes of the same scene?
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I didn't come with a clapper.
She says, leave the mistakes in. She says, don't do multiple takes of the same scene. I don't know if I'm wired that way.
You're not. He's a perfectionist.
Do the editing at night. That'll make editing easier.
Oh, don't do any mistakes.
Or don't make mistakes.
That would make the editing far easier.
Don't make mistakes. I don't know if... I was going to invite my brother and his wife, Art and Kelly Carter, to join us. And I don't see Kelly in here. And Art is a lurker. He watches from a distance. He'll watch over her shoulder, that type thing. So if you two are out there, they recently bought themselves a Tiffin Allegra Bay. And they went on their first true road trip.
Yep.
Last week. They loaded up and went to Perdido Key. Beautiful place down in Pensacola, Mobile area. Perdido is actually in Alabama, but it's an area that we know well. And they went down there to be close to Pensacola Naval Air Station while the Blue Angels were practicing. And my brother is a former Air Force pilot, and he needed to go down and watch the Blue Angels. Just had to, it's in his blood. He had to go down there and see them. So we couldn't find the time to get away. We also couldn't find any accommodations to suit us because we do military parks, and if we can't get an RV slot, we'll even take a Air Force, Army, or Navy lodge on base. Even those are under orders only. So if you were under orders, you could find an RV spot and find a lodge, but we're not under orders.
We're not, unfortunately.
So we didn't have,
and
we really couldn't have taken off. We really couldn't have taken off.
Well, no, Monday I had to go in for my MRI, and then you had your eye incident.
My eye fell out on Thursday.
Yeah. Didn't fall out. Tell your eye that.
I even asked the nurse that over at the eye surgeon. I said, "You ever had anybody come in here with their eyeball actually hanging out?" She goes, "You'd be surprised. You would be surprised." So what am I supposed to do with this? Pop that thing back in. But I was kind of hoping they'd be here. And if you are lurking, Kelly, if you're out there and you're watching, say something in the chat. I'd like to drop you a link and have you join us. Art said you might. He's not interested. I got a funny feeling that my brother Art is a lot like Michael from our epic RV adventure.
I think the same thing.
I have a funny feeling that if I prime that pump and once you get it started, there's no stopping it. So I think once Art, my brother, gets a taste of either live streams or videos, he'd be off and running.
They did get an interesting tag for the front of their video.
They got a very interesting
for their
tag.
RV. We had
I'm going to let you tell the story of... I'll be right back.
A few Christmases ago, they got their first tow-behind camper. It was a Coleman camper. Thank you. And first thing Ricky asked him was, are they going to be one of those people? And what he meant by those people, what we mean by those people is you buy yourself a camper or a trailer or an RV and it sits in the yard. You know, both Ricky and Art, they had seen their father have all sorts of desires and things that he wanted to do when he retired from the military, and he never fulfilled them. He never went and got a boat. He never went and did the traveling that he wanted to do. So Ricky asked him, are you going to become one of those people? Well, they weren't quite sure what we meant, and I guess they took a little bit of offense to it in the beginning. But we turned around and bought Matilda, so their first thing to us was, are we going to become one of those people? Well, we never did. I mean, we cleaned her up. We did a lot of repairs to her and stuff in the beginning, but as soon as we could, we took her out, and I think we've been out in Matilda at least several times a month, every month since we've had her. And since first of this year, we've been out and in her all the time. Well, Art and Kelly, being at the beach, and you know at the beach you can find all sorts of things, they found themselves a little license plate tag for the front of their vehicle, and it says those people, the Carters. And so that was a play off of those people, because you know, we just can't understand folks who buy that boat, buy that RV, and never use it. So we didn't want anyone to become one of those people.
Half my fix-it videos are mistakes. That's Dan the vintage. I got you. I am there. It's like that motor on that air conditioner. That should have been a one-time job, but now I had to come on this trip, I had to put it all back together, right? So I've taken it apart. It's in hundreds of pieces all over the top of the RV. And to come on this trip, to seal it back up, minus the old motor, I had to put it all back together. Now I've got to take it apart again.
But see, now you know how to, and so it'll happen faster.
It may.
It was practice. It was practice.
Camping Therapy says some mistakes are funny. Yeah, they're funny. Laugh. Not going to watch the gag reel. Therapy, camping therapy, or really expensive. Don't ask. Some mistakes are funny or very expensive. Dan says, don't ask. Artist on the Road says, ew. What is that about?
The eyeball.
About the eyeball what?
Falling out and having to put it back. And they said that you really don't know how many people.
That's right. Ew.
It is an ew.
I paid money to see a man with his eyeball hanging out.
He would.
Because I'd love to hear that story. Well, what had happened was I had this big spoon. What's up, peeps? KNR Destinations. Good to see y'all here. Yeah, artists on the road. I got you. You eyeball you.
It would be you.
Those people. I'm really going to have to get those people on camera because I'm sure they had a good time. It was their first road trip in their Tiffin. It's a 2005. It is absolutely immaculate. Beautiful RV. Well taken care of. I think he said, what did he say? 40,000 miles? Somewhere right in there?
Somewhere in there.
Maybe 40,000 miles.
He bought it from those people. Well, actually, he got it
people.
from Camping World, but
He did. He got a great deal on it too.
yeah.
So the two of them got a great deal on it. They've got a great RV, and they took it down. They stayed at a. I'm not going to say it's 1,000 Trails, and they're not members. They hadn't gone that far yet. But they stayed at one of those $100+ a day RV parks.
They did, and that was one reason why we didn't make accommodations.
Well, I mean, number one, we couldn't make it. Number two, to go down and stay a couple of nights or one night, drag the RV all the way down there and back.
Well, that's because we had a shorter week, but
yeah. And that would have been a mess if my eyeball had fallen out down there.
Well, that's true. It would have been. But TRICARE will cover you down there too, so you would have just gone to an eye
anywhere,
doctor.
I know, but still, you might have had to drive all the way back from Perdido.
We would have made a lot of stops.
We do that anyway.
We do.
Because of your bladder.
Because I drink water. A lot of it. Which you're supposed to do.
There you are.
So.
There come the tubers.
Yeah, he's just going to whip them into the beach.
Yeah, just whip them around and just slide them right up on the beach. If he does it at that speed, we may catch a couple of them up here in the campsite.
Oh, mercy.
That's right. If she wasn't smacking me in the back of the head all the time. And after that, after all that, Art and Kelly ended up watching the Blue Angels from a Walmart parking lot. Are you kidding me? See, we haven't talked to them since they got back. We were here and they got back Saturday. But apparently Clay has either seen something online or something. Yeah, Walmart truly has everything. The Blue Angels included.
That's it. Just got to be in the right place.
We want to see. All right, baby. Knock my eyeball out.
I'm not going to knock your eyeball out. I need you. I don't want you falling apart. Somebody's got to drive me around from here to there. Set me up.
I thought you were going to get you a younger one.
Well, if I lose you, I have to.
Didn't you say something about one? You're going to get one to drive the RV and one that's going to be like a cabana boy that just puts up your umbrellas and sets up your chairs and gets your drinks and stuff like that?
Actually, I only need one, but I don't know if I want a driver or if I want a cabana boy.
Well, I'm the driver and cabana boy.
You are. But obviously I'm wearing you out. It's like the front air conditioner. If you work all the time.
Hang on, honey. I'm coming with your umbrella. It's hard to hold it and the walker at the same time.
And I have to have someone editing all my videos. That's what Clay said.
I'm serious.
So, yeah, they want to see the tubers.
We want to see the tubers. Well, we can show them the tubers. Let's see if y'all can see them. It's not too much of a glare. I'm going to look on my phone here and see if you're actually seeing them. They're right out there beyond. You see them, the jet
they're
ski.
Coming in slowly.
Yeah, they're bringing them back in. And the pontoon boat. We had a pontoon boat come by earlier that had a puppy dog at the helm.
Yes, they did.
And the puppy dog was in charge.
Told him how close he was, how to stay in that channel.
Told him where the channel was. He was telling his daddy where to put that pontoon boat. Oh, I see. I got that wrong. We want to see. Not. They didn't want to see you knock my eyeball out. They wanted to see the tubers. Okay, there you go.
Well, okay.
Well, all right then.
Hey, Aaron, it's good to see you.
Aaron Jemison.
Yes. The artist on the road said that they saw the Blue Angel years ago. His office building overlooked the airfield, got great pics close enough that he could see the pilot.
Last year, we were down at the Chief Petty Officer's Beach on Pensacola and watched them practice.
Actually, they practiced, but the very next day we went down there, and they had headed up to Washington, D.C. to do the 4th of July show.
That was a pretty neat story.
And they had one of their planes went down, or pilots, not down as in an accident, met a mechanical or
yeah, they had a mechanical and equipment issue with one of the Blue Angels up
in D.C. area.
In D.C. So we were at the beach the next day.
And we hear about the mechanical issue on the news.
Right.
On the TV. And we're on the beach like an hour later. And lo and behold, a solo Blue Angel
F-18
took off, went to Washington, D.C.
Buddy, he was all afterburners and everything. And we were thinking to ourselves, well, that's nice. They got one or two left back, and they're going to go ahead and buzz the beach because that was actually the 4th of July. No.
It was the 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
Yeah.
And we thought to ourselves, wow, that's nice. They're going out there on Pensacola Beach, and they're going to fly, down the beach. That's nice. Little did we know he was cooking it and booking it for D.C. to replace that malfunctioning Blue Angel. But
that was cool.
Yeah.
Just knowing
he
how
left.
all that went together.
He left in no time, was gone. And then later we were at the CPO's, the outside bar down on the water, the pier. And so we're at the pier side bar. And the command duty officer, COD or CDO,
yeah,
he was there, and he was explaining how there was a mad dash to find the guy with the keys. And we're thinking, find the guy with it? You had to find your keys to the F-18? No, they had to find the keys to the fuel truck. They had to fuel that bird so they could send it up to D.C., and it was a mad dash because it was a day off, and the normal guy had already fueled up the planes the day before and sent them on their way. Well, here was this lone bird that had to go, and they couldn't find the guy with the key to the fuel truck. He said they finally did.
Aaron's got a good question.
Aaron, what year is your bounder? We have a 2003 34D bounder, 2000 34D bounder. Well, 2000, yours is a year older than our bounder. She is a 99 34, a 34. I can't remember what what 34J or something like that. She has no slides, so I don't know if yours has slides or not, but the J, we understand, was a designator for wide body, no slides. We absolutely love ours, Aaron. We certainly do. As in, could see the pilot as he flew over us. Was awesome. That's right. When you're that close, and you can get that close.
You can.
What does that say? Live travel day.
Coming up. I'm not lost on RV, and that's just telling me that there's something coming up later. So let me try to close that.
I'm sure they have alert aircraft standing by. Yep, that was the case there. They probably took their complement up to DC and probably took their C-130 up there, the big Blue Angel, Hercules, with spare parts and all that good stuff. And buddy, they called down and said, we need a replacement bird. And that joker, he left here in a hurry.
You had to get there. You had to show.
I mean, he didn't no longer get up off that runway before he hit those afterburners and was gone. I wonder how long it took him to get from Pensacola, Florida to D.C.
Not very long. He got up there in that high sky.
As my granddaddy would say, he left him. He left him.
C. Carter asked if we were all worried about being here in Lake Eufaula now that Shark Week was here or has started. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I saw something on Facebook, and Chief Petty Officers, E7s, E8s, E9s in the Navy, we're old goats. Goats. And this thing...
That's why they call it the Chief's Mess, the goat locker.
Anyway, there was a Facebook post, and whether it's true or not is really unimportant, but it says that there are over 6,000 goat attacks in a year, and only on average 6 shark attacks. Yet we have a Shark Week. We need more goat weeks.
We need goat week.
I mean, couldn't you watch little baby goats?
6,000 goat attacks. Goat week. I just want to make sure they have some of those goats on there that faint.
I think that's some of the goats that we have on our goat locker now.
Hey!
That's not, I'm sorry. Once a chief, always a chief. You make a chief, it's good. But some people it's just nowadays, you know, when you're in the Navy less than 10 years and you're a chief petty officer.
Baby chiefs.
There's something not quite right with that. You haven't been seasoned long enough to be in that type of a leadership role, but that's beside the point. So anyway.
Goat NATO.
Well, at least Shark Week will give you something else to watch. Besides,
I thought Shark Week was like the whole month.
It usually is. Shark Week.
Oh, here they come, baby. Here they come. Whoa, hey, hang on.
And we're going to swing it the other way.
Take them across their own way.
Little babies on there. You got to take them across their own way. And they are little tiny kids.
They are small. Hang on.
Aaron says, if you ever had a goat attack, let me tell you, it ain't pretty. Hey, Susan, glad to have you back.
An old goose attack you too.
No kidding.
That's worse than I don't know. I've been butted by a goat, but I ain't never been attacked by. Well, I've been butted by a goat, but that goose, them geeses, they hiss and snap and bite, and they don't care. They scare the snot out of you when you're a kid, just running with sheer terror. And that goose got its neck down and coming at you, and he gets you a bite when he gets there.
They're good attack animals.
You ever been horse bit?
No.
They'll bite you too. I've come to find out just about everything will bite you. The only thing I ain't never been bit by was a moth. Couldn't find a moth mouth if I wanted to.
Dreaming
you ever
out
seen
loud
mothballs?
RVing. Welcome to have you here. Yeah, he's going to say something. Traveling our nursing bug says, did you get goosed?
You ever seen mothballs?
There it goes. Mary Jones, hello everybody. And
hey James Cantonese.
Good to see you, James. I know I keep interrupting. Have you ever seen mothballs? Go ahead, finish it up.
No, I'm just gonna wait for somebody to say. I was talking about an old Navy goat.
Well, yeah, we've had some of those goat attacks too, haven't you?
Yeah.
I could do that once or twice.
I was chased by an emu. That emu is nasty and got them spurs too, just like a rooster. And I'm talking about the ones in Australia, the ones in the outback, and I've seen them. And they will attack you and they will spur you. And the ones over there are greasy. They got an oil on their feathers that helps preserve their body moisture. And they stink. And
well, that's why you have emu oil.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to be rubbing any of that oil. That oil that I smelled on those birds in the outback. Yeah.
All right, we've got Reverend Tommy Two-Tone.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Little bit crazy 84.
He's an Alabama boy, Reverend
Yeah.
Tommy Two-Tone.
K&R Destination says that they were back. Sorry, was editing a video.
Mothballs. I've seen Norfolk in the late 40s. I have seen mothballs. Well, that's good. I was wondering, if y'all have seen mothballs, how do y'all hold their little legs apart? Rim shot, anybody? Boom.
Yeah, see, it wasn't even ready for that.
Nice boundary. Yeah, it is, James. That's Matilda.
We enjoy her very much. We've gotten our money's worth out of her.
And I'm becoming very familiar with how to keep her. Not that she's had any major issues, just those little small ones that present themselves, and you have to find them. But I have discovered that if you've got an internet connection, you can find out anything. Anything. In fact, in investigating this auto park brake issue, there's an entire website called RVUTUBE.com. That's all they deal with is auto park issues. Rotten green switches, cables, hydraulics. It'll help you find the problem.
RV Ashes in April. Good afternoon to you.
RV Ashes in April. Great to see y'all again. Coming up next in about, we're looking at about 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow.
We got Nursing Our Travel Bug. Go over and see them. And there it is. Thank you so much, Sue, for putting that in there. I certainly appreciate it. I was going to have to try and grab my phone and figure out how to import that link. It's certainly doable, but it's tough. Don't forget to tip your waitresses and try the veal while you're there. Also, wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance, and for the love of all that is holy, do not lick the handrails at the bus station. Okay.
Words to live by.
That is. If you do those 4 things. You'll still stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. I don't know about the wealthy part. Healthy and wise.
Wiser.
Healthy and wiser.
Because you didn't lick the handrails at the bus station.
They're taking the anchor out. I was trying to figure out what they were toting over there. It's like they were trying to sink a body.
Dan says he's glad to have regular parking brake cables and such on his P30.
Mm-hmm.
Big old lever next to the steering column.
And he knows when it's engaged, too, because he can feel it with his leg. If he's feeling it with his leg, it's engaged. Well, folks, we want to thank y'all. We rambled on here, and hopefully next weekend we will be able to get a report from Art and Kelly. I'm really going to kind of pressure them, although they're school teachers, and I think their vacation's coming to an end.
Go in, teachers report.
That's why they've been packing it in here recently. They did the lake, they did the beach, and then they did Perdido with the RV, and I think they go in next week. Yeah. Schools, good or bad, school's about to get back at it. So want to send blessings to all you folks and hope y'all stay safe. Do what you need to do to protect yourself and your families. And if your kids are going back to school in the next couple of weeks, let's just hope the school's smart enough to shut it back down or at least quarantine.
Well, it's time for us to start living.
Yeah, well, I agree with that too.
As a country.
I do. So coming up next, as you can see, the link in the chat right there is Nursing Our Travel Bug. And we want to thank you all for being here. Miss Barbara, any final words? Don't forget, she's driving home today. There's going to be a video soon, so tune in next Sunday to find out how our trip home was.
I'll probably go about 50 yards and stop and make you do it.
But she's going to drive today.
So we'll loop that video.
Say a prayer, because within the hour, we're going to be hitting the road, and she's going to be behind the wheel of Matilda for the first time. In fact, the first time she's been in Matilda while it's been on the road, and she'll be behind the wheel.
Woo.
So I'll give her all the pointers I know, and we'll set her off on her way at 35, 40 miles an hour until she gets comfortable, and we'll see how things go. Really appreciate y'all being here today. Thank you so much. God bless you, folks. And until we see you again, fair winds and following seas.
God bless.